Hey everybody, Andy here, AK Montolio, and we are back for round 4 of a Vintage League. We're playing Jewel Shops, and I mean that's a keep. Unfortunately, we're on the draw, but I mean that's okay. This hand is not amazing, but if my opponent goes land pass, it could be decent. Demonic Tutor, okay. Black Lotus, I'm guessing. No, not sure what they're getting. Well, I kind of feel like we just should try and win, right? Do we just go for a PO here? Do I go for a coveted jewel? It's pretty good. So we have a whole bunch of options here. I could play a Workshop into a Grim Monolith into a Mana Vault that is 6 mana. And then I play a Mox Opal. Into a Coveted Jewel into a PO. Look, my opponent probably has a force, but it has to be literally one of the force of negation, force of will in order to negate what we're doing here. I get a mental misstep. Okay, so that is pretty decent. I could PO for 2 here. Which is not very good. Pretty clutch misstep there. I feel like 3-ball might be the play here. Because next turn I can cast a Coveted Jewel if they don't play a creature. So Hull Breacher is obviously a scary card here. I don't think I would do that if my opponent just left their mana open, but okay, they're not. They're just tinkering here. Yep. I mean, not a surprise they went to get Tinker there, but Citadel's not going to do anything with a Trinisphere in play. Doesn't work that way, man. All right, well, I mean, this feels pretty good. I mean, I have to pay 3, but I think it's worth it to do this. Okay, can't do it all this turn, but that's okay. Just have to hope my opponent doesn't have a land. I mean, even if they do, it's not the worst. But the problem for me would be something like a Hull Breacher. I don't know that I could beat a Hull Breacher. Dark Fate. Okay, so they're going to get my Jewel. Yeah. Okay. Not happy about it. Guess we could time walk here. It's not the worst. Let's see what we can find. Think I'm going to play the workshop here and just pass, redraw. I mean, this PO could be very good. I guess it's a matter of, does my opponent have a counter spell? And I just feel like we don't really have the luxury of playing around any of that stuff. Right? I think I play the Time Vault and draw it. We've got quite a bit of mana to work with here. Blue. And I mean, 3-ball ensures that what I'm doing works. But I'm drawing quite a few cards here. I think this is just fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a lot of cards to draw. Let's get a grid down. My opponent wants to force this. That's, I guess, not the worst. Okay, they did find an answer off the top. Let's get this in. So I would like to be able to try and set up a win here. And the best way that I accomplish this is through Vault Key. And I've got 2 keys in my deck. So I'm just going to go about my business here. And the 3-ball is going to have to come in at some point. I still have a land drop to give. Okay, I think my opponent does not have an answer now. Okay, unfortunately for me, going to get as much mana out of this as I can. I think this is just the correct way to do things. Building incremental mana value. I'm just looking for a key here. Okay. So there's another jewel. A little bit awkward because I'm not wanting to use all my mana here. Do I have an academy still? I do. I think utilizing my workshop mana here is probably correct. There's the key. And we have 6 mana. So I think we play grid. Okay. Very nice. Very, very nice. So I think we can probably afford to be a little bit more defensive here. don't think I mind a grid. Like there, it's a little bit of a nombo with the forces and the grids, right? Ghostly Flicker's cute. Let's try something like this. Yeah, I think this is fine. Unfortunately, our force is not turned on right now, but we do have some very nice tools turn one. Like we can definitely, um, I believe, set up a grid into a coveted jewel. So we're going to keep this. Okay. So nice. Well, let us attempt to get a grid into play. Just resolves. Okay. Well, that's 6 mana. Coveted jewel. It's pretty nice. I guess we do something like this. Might need a bit of help here to make this all work, but do I want a prophetic? I don't think so. Let's put that away. Okay. Pretty good turn for us. Unfortunately for us, we're pretty vulnerable to what my opponent does here. And they could easily go off on us. The grid does serve them that way as well, but we do have gas and Mystic Forge. We'll get 3 looks or 3 looks at it, yep, because of the key. We got infinite mana, a braid. Okay. Okay. But we do have a force here. Oh, Karn. I do like Karn. So how is this going to work here? I guess we play the Ancient Tomb. I would like the ability to cast a Force of Will off the top here, but I think we can set up a Karn kill here. So what's the best way to do this? So I guess this. So we're going to counter this. So what's the best way to do this? I think I'll use my Lotus here. Double Force. Okay. I cannot stop that. So what we're going to look to do here is I'm looking to I'm going to burn this. We found a force and negation on the top, which is not ideal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my manifold key to untap this. We're going to burn that again, see if we can find an artifact to cast. Okay, we found a PO. We have to pass turn. My opponent is playing off the top, and we just have to hope they find a land and pass. Yep, we got this. This is going to be easy breezy from here. Wow, this deck is so magnificent. Let's win this one, okay? No. So, oh, I should have just done it in my upkeep there, but I think that's okay. So what I'm going to do is going to untap this. Actually, what we're going to do is do this. And we're going to draw a bunch of cards, and hopefully we can close the game out from here. I think it's fine not to use my tomb here if I don't have to. That's a whole bunch of cards we're going to be drawing, though. Like, I mean, a whole bunch with the coveted jewel. My opponent is not going to concede, and I don't blame them for that. Do we have a kill here? We don't. Okay, so let's get our Mana Crypt into play. And I think we're going to cast a Grim Monolith. And we're going to cast this. We're going to cast a key. And we're going to cast, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, let's just stop fooling around here. Let's cast a coveted jewel. And I guess we'll just do it again. We have the kill here. Not even paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay. Is there anything we want to do here? I think what I can do is I can get this Mana Crypt up off the table here moving forward. Can I PO here? Well, I would say that's a wealth of options. And we're going to close it out pretty quickly. I got a lot of cards here. How do I want to do this here? I think I'm just keen to vault key and untap here. I hope my opponent doesn't feel like I'm just toying with them. I'm not. I'm just like, this is a sensory overload for me. I just don't need any of this stuff here. I'm just going to kill them very cleanly. Don't need that. Don't need that. All the metamorphs are nice, but probably don't need those. Certainly don't need a Mana Crypt anymore. Don't want to tinker. I'm just killing with constructs here. It doesn't even really matter. Ancestral Recall does not matter. Demonic Tutor doesn't matter. I don't mind the Workshop. But once again, doesn't really matter. Actually, we don't even need the Coveted Jewel here. We still have an extra turn in the bank, but it doesn't really matter either way. Opponent is not conceding. They're enjoying the display as much as I am here. Obviously would play this a lot tighter if it was in a tournament, but when you have sensory overload, when you have too many options, you got to take your time. But anyways, guys, I'm not sure what to say, but it's 4-0-8-0, and we're going into the 5-0 match. So hopefully we can win it because I actually need 5 qualifier points to play in the PTQ this weekend, and this would be a really sweet way to wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoy the video. We'll see you guys for round 5.